Let's review how we answer reading questions based on a text. There are 3 useful steps. Number 1, use part of the question to start writing your answer. Number 2, answer the question. And of course, give evidence from the text in your own words. Let's see what that looks like. Step number 1, use part of the question. In this step, we have to look at the question and ask ourselves, what part of the question can we use in the answer? Here's an example. This is based on the story titled Hazel's Bike Ride. The question is, describe what Hazel's mother does in this story. So I took the words in this story, which are here in the question, and Hazel's mother. And that is how I started my answer. In this story, Hazel's mother. So I used part of the question to start writing my answer. Step number 2, answer the question. We have to look in the text for the answers, or sometimes we have to use the information in the text to infer, to create our own response. We're using the same question, describe what Hazel's mother does in the story. I looked in the text, and this is what I gathered. Mother calls out for her while she is riding her bike, picking fruit. So after restating the question, then I answer the question, and step number 3, we give evidence from the text in our own words. So we have to go back to the text and identify or find information that supports our answer. It has to be related to the answer. So here's the example. Again, the same question. Describe what Hazel's mother does in this story. Information from the text in my own words. Here it is. In the text, it says her mother called her 2 times because it was getting late. Now let's put it all together. Here is my response. In this story, Hazel's mother calls out for her while she is riding her bike picking fruit. In the text, it says her mother called her 2 times because it was getting late and it was time for dinner. So I used part of the question to start my answer. I answered the question and I gave evidence from the text in my own words. Let's look at another example. So the question is, what does Hazel do all afternoon? I used part of the question, all afternoon, Hazel. Then I'm answering the question. All afternoon, Hazel rides her bike near the fruit trees and picks fruit. Now I'm going to use evidence from the text. In the story, it describes how she found an apple tree and a peach tree. And here is my response. It's 2 sentences long. I used part of the question, I answered the question, and I gave evidence from the text. Let's see another example. This question is, what is the first important event of the story? I first asked myself what I'm going to use from the question, and this is what I chose. The first important event of the story is, and notice how it makes sense. Then I'm going to answer the question. When Hazel receives a new bike with a basket in the front. And then I give evidence from the text in my own words. Altogether, this is my response. The first important event of the story is when Hazel receives a new bike with a basket in the front. This event is the most important because she uses the bike to go to fruit trees and puts the fruit in the basket. So I did all 3 steps, and this is information that I gathered from the text. Keep working hard, and remember the 3 steps. Use part of the question, answer the question, and give evidence from the text in your own words.